Imagine waking up tomorrow with a little more strength in your legs, a steadier grip in your hands, and more confidence getting out of a chair, all from something you add to your coffee. Not a pill, not an extreme workout, just a simple addition many people over 65 overlook every single morning. As we get older, one of the quiet changes that happens in the body is the gradual loss of muscle. It doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up slowly. One day you notice climbing stairs feels harder. Another day carrying groceries takes more effort. This age-related muscle loss has a name: sarcopenia, and it's one of the biggest reasons people over 65 lose independence. The good news is, science shows this process is not only slowable, and it's partially reversible when the body gets the right signals and the right nutrients. Coffee already plays an interesting role here. For many older adults, it's the most consistent daily ritual. It boosts alertness, improves mood, and even enhances physical performance by stimulating the nervous system. But coffee alone doesn't give muscles what they need to stay strong. In fact, caffeine can slightly increase calcium loss, and, if taken on an empty stomach, may even increase muscle protein breakdown in some people. That's where this simple addition comes in, turning your coffee from just a stimulant into something that actually supports muscle strength. The ingredient is protein, specifically a form that's easy to digest and rich in an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is a powerful trigger for muscle protein synthesis, which is the process your body uses to repair and build muscle tissue. As we age, our muscles become less responsive to protein. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. It means older adults need a slightly higher quality protein signal to get the same muscle building response they got when they were younger. Studies consistently show that adding about 20 to 30 grams of high-quality protein can significantly stimulate muscle protein synthesis in adults over 60. The problem is, many seniors don't get enough protein at breakfast. They might have toast, cereal, or just coffee, and then go hours before eating anything substantial. During that time, the body stays in a muscle breakdown mode. By adding protein to your coffee in the morning, you change that entire pattern. You send your muscles an early signal that says, we're building today, not breaking down. This is especially important because muscle tissue responds best earlier in the day when insulin sensitivity is higher and the body is more efficient at using nutrients. One of the easiest ways to do this is by adding a high-quality protein powder to your coffee. Whey protein is the most studied and has the highest leucine content, which is why researchers often recommend it for older adults. It dissolves well, digests quickly, and has been shown to improve muscle strength and function when combined with even light physical activity like walking or chair exercises. For those who don't tolerate dairy well, plant-based blends that combine pea and rice protein can also work, as long as they provide enough leucine. You might wonder if hot coffee destroys protein. Fortunately, protein powders are heat-stable at typical coffee temperatures. As long as the liquid isn't boiling, the protein structure remains intact and effective. Many people find it helpful to mix the protein with a small amount of warm water or milk first, then add it to the coffee to avoid clumping. But protein alone isn't the whole story. Another powerful addition to coffee for muscle support is collagen peptides. Collagen doesn't build muscle directly the way whey does, but it supports the connective tissues that muscles rely on, including tendons and ligaments. As we age, these tissues become stiffer and weaker, increasing injury risk and limiting strength gains. Research shows that collagen supplementation, especially when combined with vitamin C, can improve joint comfort and support overall muscle function by keeping the supporting structures strong and resilient. Many older adults notice that when their joints feel better, they naturally move more. That extra movement, even if it's just standing up more often or walking a little farther, sends signals to the muscles to stay active and strong. In this way, collagen works indirectly but powerfully to support muscle strength. There's also another surprising compound that pairs well with coffee for older muscles: creatine. Creatine is often associated with young athletes, but it's actually one of the most studied supplements for aging muscles. Research in adults over 60 shows that creatine can improve muscle strength, power, and even cognitive function when taken consistently. It helps muscles produce energy more efficiently, which is crucial as natural energy production declines with age. Creatine is stable in hot liquids and tasteless, making it easy to add to coffee. Even a small daily dose can help muscles respond better to protein and resistance-type movements. Importantly, Large reviews of studies show creatine to be safe for healthy older adults when used at recommended doses. Anyone with kidney disease should always consult their healthcare provider first. What makes coffee such a smart vehicle for these additions is consistency. You don't have to remember an extra supplement later in the day. You're already making coffee. By tying muscle-supporting nutrients to an existing habit, you dramatically increase the chances you'll stick with it long enough to see real results. It's also worth talking about timing. Muscles don't just need protein, they need a reason to use it. Even gentle activity within an hour or two of your coffee can amplify the benefits. This doesn't mean lifting heavy weights. Standing exercises, light resistance bands, slow squats to a chair, or even a brisk walk can be enough to tell your muscles. Use what you've been given. Over time, people who combine protein-rich coffee with regular movement often notice practical improvements. Getting up from the floor becomes easier, balance improves, grip strength increases. These aren't cosmetic changes, they're the foundations of independence. Another important benefit is metabolic health. Stronger muscles help regulate blood sugar, reduce insulin resistance, and support a healthier body weight. For older adults, this means more stable energy levels and less fatigue throughout the day. It also means better protection against falls. It's one of the most serious risks after 65. Of course, not all additions to coffee are helpful. Loading coffee with sugar and flavored creamers can spike blood sugar and promote inflammation, which works against muscle health. The goal is to enhance coffee, not turn it into a dessert. Using unsweetened milk, a small amount of cinnamon, or natural flavorings can keep it enjoyable without undermining the benefits. One more thing many people don't realize is that dehydration can worsen muscle weakness. Coffee has a mild diuretic effect, especially in people who don't drink much water otherwise. Pairing your coffee habit with a glass of water helps ensure muscles stay properly hydrated, which is essential for strength and coordination. When you step back and look at the science, the message is clear. Muscles after 65 are still responsive. They still adapt. They just need clearer signals and better support than they did decades earlier. By upgrading your morning coffee with the right additions, you create a daily muscle support ritual that fits seamlessly into your life. And perhaps the most encouraging part is this: improvements can happen faster than you think. Studies show measurable gains in muscle protein synthesis within days of increasing protein intake, and functional improvements within weeks when paired with light activity. This isn't about chasing youth or pushing your body beyond its limits. It's about giving your muscles what they need to do the job they were designed to do: support you, protect you, and keep you moving with confidence as the years go by. And once you understand how this simple coffee upgrade works at the muscle level, the next question naturally becomes how to fine-tune it for your own body, your routine, and your specific needs. Because not everyone over 65 benefits in exactly the same way, and small adjustments can make a big difference in how strong and steady you feel day to day. One of the most important adjustments is choosing the right amount. More is not always better, especially after 65. Research suggests that spreading protein intake evenly across the day is far more effective for muscle maintenance than consuming most of it at dinner. That's why adding a moderate amount to your coffee works so well. Around 20 grams of protein in the morning appears to hit a sweet spot for many older adults, enough to stimulate muscle building without overwhelming digestion. Digestion is another key piece of the puzzle. As we age, stomach acid and digestive enzyme production tend to decline. This means some people feel bloated or uncomfortable when they suddenly increase protein. If that happens, starting with a smaller amount and gradually increasing it can help. Using hydrolyzed whey or a well-formulated plant blend can also make digestion easier, because the protein is partially broken down already. Temperature and texture matter too. Some people dislike the idea of thick or foamy coffee. In that case, mixing the protein into a small amount of warm milk or water before adding it to coffee can keep the texture smooth. Others prefer iced coffee, which works just as well and may actually preserve flavor better for sensitive palates. Another overlooked factor in muscle strength after 65 is inflammation. Low-grade, chronic inflammation becomes more common with age and can interfere with muscle repair. This is where coffee itself becomes an ally. Coffee is rich in polyphenols, natural compounds that have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. When you combine these compounds with adequate protein, you You create an internal environment that's much more favorable for muscle recovery. Adding a pinch of cinnamon or cocoa powder to your coffee can enhance this effect. Both contain compounds shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation, which helps muscles better absorb and use amino acids. These additions may seem small, but over months, they can contribute to meaningful improvements in strength and energy. Sleep also plays a surprisingly large role. Muscle repair and growth don't happen while you're exercising or drinking your coffee. They happen while you sleep. Poor sleep blunts the muscle-building response to protein. For older adults who are sensitive to caffeine, switching to half-caff or decaf in the morning can preserve the ritual while protecting nighttime rest. The protein and other additions still provide benefits even without full caffeine. Hydration deserves another mention here. Muscles are roughly 75% water, and even mild dehydration can reduce strength and coordination. Pairing your coffee with a protein addition increases your body's need for water slightly. Making a habit of drinking water alongside your coffee helps ensure the muscles can contract efficiently and recover properly. It's also important to set realistic expectations. This coffee habit won't turn back the clock in a week. What it can do is slow muscle loss, support gradual strength gains, and improve how steady and capable you feel. Many people notice subtle changes first, like less fatigue when standing or better balance when walking. Over time, these small improvements add up to greater confidence and independence. There's also a mental side to this. When people feel physically stronger, they tend to move more. When they move more, muscles receive more signals to stay strong. This creates a positive feedback loop. A simple morning habit can become the foundation for a much more active and empowered day. Of course, safety always matters. Anyone with kidney disease, advanced diabetes, or other chronic conditions should discuss protein intake and supplements like creatine with a healthcare provider. For most healthy older adults, though, the research consistently shows that adequate protein intake is not only safe, but essential for maintaining quality of life. One of the most compelling findings from aging research is that muscle strength is a stronger predictor of longevity than body weight or even blood pressure. Stronger muscles help prevent falls, support the immune system, and improve resilience during illness. In that context, adding protein to your coffee is not a small thing. It's a daily investment in your future mobility. Another benefit many people report is improved appetite regulation. Starting the day with protein can reduce excessive hunger later on, leading to more balanced meals and steadier energy. This is especially helpful for older adults who struggle with blood sugar swings or afternoon crashes. What makes this approach so powerful is how normal it feels. You're not changing your identity or your lifestyle. You're not committing to an extreme diet. You're simply upgrading something you already do every morning. Over time, that upgrade compounds, much like interest in a savings account. As researchers continue to study aging muscles, one theme keeps emerging. Consistency beats intensity. Small, daily actions matter more than occasional big efforts. A protein-supported cup of coffee, followed by gentle movement and adequate rest, aligns perfectly with that principle. And once this habit is in place, it often opens the door to other positive changes. People become more curious about strength exercises, more mindful of nutrition, and more confident in their body's ability to adapt even later in life. That's why this simple addition to your coffee can be such a turning point. It's not about the coffee itself. It's about sending a daily message to your muscles that they are still needed, still valued, and still capable of responding. When you reach your mid-60s and beyond, it's easy to believe that weakness is just part of aging, something you have to accept and work around. But the science tells a very different story. Your muscles are not done. They are listening every day for signals that tell them whether to shrink or stay strong. What you add to your coffee is one of those signals. By turning your morning cup into a source of high-quality protein and optionally collagen or creatine, if appropriate for you, you shift your body out of breakdown mode and into maintenance and repair. You support the muscle fibers themselves, the joints and tendons that move them, and the energy systems that power every step you take. Combined with light daily movement, good hydration, and decent sleep, this small habit becomes a quiet but powerful form of self-care. The most important thing to remember is that strength after 65 isn't about lifting heavy or pushing hard. It's about consistency, nourishment, and respecting how the aging body works. A simple change made once a day can protect your independence, reduce your risk of falls, and help you feel more confident in your own body. So tomorrow morning, when you reach for your coffee, remember that it's more than just a wake-up drink. It's an opportunity. An opportunity to support your muscles, your mobility, and your quality of life one calm, familiar sip at a time.